at the moment, it can range from $10,000 to $20,000. It really depends on how.
Wow. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Pokemon cards. If you don't know, Pokemon cards has recently gone very popular to a point where the prices of the Pokemon cards like these ones, especially if they are PSA graded, have gone insane. I was lucky enough to actually get a hold of a few Pokemon cards. So I have this Poliwrath PSA 9, and I have a first edition Aerodactyl PSA 8. Alongside with that, I actually have gotten my hands on a few rare Pokemons. A lot of them are going to be first edition. I have about 18 right here in my hands. They're in a sleeve just because the condition of the cards will play a great factor in terms of how much their value is going to be. Shout out to my friend who actually hooked me up with these. You know who you are. I really appreciate that. So I actually don't feel qualified enough to be talking about these Pokemon cards in terms of their value and what they are. So I'm actually going to be inviting a good friend of mine, Khameron, who is very knowledgeable about Pokemon cards. His knowledge in Pokemon is probably a PSA 10 near mint condition. So let's give him a call. Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. I just have a few questions in regarding to the value of the Pokemon and why they're so popular right now. But before we get started, for those who don't know, just introduce yourself.
My name is Khameron. I've been a long-time friend with David.
Yep.
And 2 years ago, every single summer I have like a hobby that I get into, and that particular summer I was interested in collecting Pokemon cards. I initially just wanted to find a base set, which is the original set, and the idea was that I was going to purchase the whole set and sort of frame it and put it on a wall whenever I get my own place and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. It gives you that nostalgic feeling, right? Just looking back at these Pokemon cards.
Yeah, most definitely. I was just fascinated with the artwork, so I set up an ad in Kijiji. And a guy from Montreal messaged me. A week later, I was thankful that he gave me the base set for $200. Throughout the whole summer, I occasionally bought different cards. I bought cards from my friends, which also included a Shadowless Charizard.
So for just those who don't know, like, do you mind just explaining what Shadowless mean?
Shadowless, it's a bit interesting. Obviously, it's the second on the hierarchy and whatnot. And Shadowless, it has a bit of a unique sort of rep to it, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
As the second print. Now, if you look on the right side of the card, under, I would say, sort of like the fire emblem, over there for the Charmander, for example, you see a bit of a white tint with regards to that particular card. In contrast to the Aerodactyl that comes from the fossil set, if you look on the right side, there isn't necessarily a white tint, but much rather, you can say a form of shadow.
Just going back to the pricing, you did mention that you spent about $200 on your Pokemon cards about 2 years ago and whatnot. Before you sent them out to be graded, do you know the current value of those cards?
So at the moment, based on projections that I've made, however they can be a bit biased due to the fact that, you know, they are my cards, it can range from $10,000 to $20,000. It really depends on how they come back in terms of the condition. And also with that being said too, I can't speak on behalf of the market 4 months from now or a month now. Honestly, a bit surprising. Obviously, with Gary Vaynerchuk getting involved into the trading card collection hobby, along with Logan Paul, obviously, with regards to his first edition live stream and his mass purchases with regards to Pokemon cards. I feel like I kind of got into the hobby at a right moment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, from $200 to about $20,000. That's a great ROI, man. That's awesome. Looking into my collection, I'll just show you a few of my cards. Do you think these cards are of any value, and do you think it's worth for me to hold on to them?
Yeah, so most definitely. I mean, two of those cards were obviously the starters from the Red and Blue series, and nostalgia is pretty expensive at the end of the day. It will go for a pretty penny to say nonetheless, considering the fact that it's actually just a common card. In particular, first edition cards are very hard to come by.
So do you think this is more of just like a hype thing right now? Do you think the people who have these cards, do you think it's a great time for them to like let them go and kind of sell it?
The people who initially made those cards, they're not making them anymore. So in terms of reprints,
yeah,
from that particular company, it's not going to happen again. So I feel like the prices will go up. Pokemon is always going to be in high demand.
For sure, for sure.
Obviously, people grew up with it. You and I grew up with it. Kids
Absolutely.
these days are still growing up with it.
Yeah, it's all about trading those cards in the during recess, right, and stealing them.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. Don't steal, guys. Don't steal.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, you heard it from the expert guy. Pokemons is definitely a great investment to make if you are into the collectibles, and a lot of people are investing into this just because for the nostalgic sake of it, as well as the fact that by having physical cards, it's more like you're a part of something in comparison to just having stocks. So when you come across like other Pokemon cards collectors, it's more of like a community. There's something that you guys could look back and relate to, because everyone would do have stories when in regards to Pokemon cards trading. Am I right?
100%.
Yeah.
Whether it be the video games, the anime itself, or the cards, I feel like, as I stated before, it's always going to be part of a childhood nowadays.
Exactly, yeah. So it's very similar. When it comes to these collectible cards, it's very similar to people who are purchasing high-end cars and collectible cars, right? So a lot of them don't even drive them. But you can look at these cars as an appreciating assets, right? So a lot of people are into art. Some people purchase art for millions and millions of dollars, and so it really just depends on like your cup of tea, right? So a lot of people are investing into Pokemons. At first it may look like, oh, it looks childish just because they're just unrealistic characters, but at the end of the day, it's the value that we give them. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. We'll catch up soon, all right?
Most definitely.
Take care, my man. Peace.
Take care. Peace out.
Well, there you go, guys. You heard it from Khameron. These are definitely going up in value. These cards were really worth nothing back in the day, but now they're going for hundreds, thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars for a piece of cardboard, as people may say. But at the end of the day, guys, it really depends on where you want to invest your money. If you're looking into investing your money and you want to invest into Pokemon cards, but they're just too expensive for you right now, one thing I would recommend for you to do is just invest into the stock market right now. The stock market is heavily undervalued at the moment just because of the pandemic and the election in the States. So a lot of these stocks are just on sale right now, so it's a great time to hop on and start investing today.